So you're saying to me now that if I have a life insurance that was worth $100,000 and I've been paying monthly, I'm just throwing out figures there, $70 a month on a life insurance, a whole life insurance at 100,000, paying $70 a month. And I've been paying this for 5 years. And say I had water damage to my house. I'm just using something arbitrarily. You're saying I could borrow money from the life insurance?
Correct. Because those two permanent policies, I'm going to break it down even more. They're different, but they still have the same meaning. And meaning is that they're both permanent, meaning that they last for your whole life. But a
Okay.
whole policy is going to accumulate cash based on dividends the insurance company earns and pays into your policy. And then
Mm-hmm.
you index universal life. This is a more flexible type policy where you can invest into it, and it's tied to the S&P 500 index. And
Mm-hmm.
when it's tied to it, it doesn't mean that it's invested into the stock market. It's tied to how well the S&P 500 does. So you have
Oh, and welcome to New Beginnings Podcast with Michelle. Thank you so much for tuning in today and all the other days you've been tuning in with me. I am grateful that you are listening in to all the great topics that we have been sharing, all the different ways we can enhance our well-being, whether it's through health, moving, or eating the right foods, or even your environment, going places that would allow you to be peaceful and taking a walk with God. I am so happy that you guys have been listening in. And you know very well, we're not only looking at environment, but our relationships and how we relate to community and building communities. Last month, we celebrated in March the month of the women. All right. But you know me, I have a little thing for the women. So I will always be celebrating women no matter what, because I'm one of them, right? But New Beginnings Podcast is all about learning how to find your purpose, learning how to engage with others in different relationships, whether it's your family relationships, as we did in February. We looked at marriage couples. In the month of March, as I said, we deal with all the women and their different aspects of, living water, working with God, being able to understand who we are, lead with her 2-day conference that we had. We are just here to learn in New Beginnings Podcast. One of the other areas we touched on it in January was that of enhancing your well-being through finances. And that is always going to play part of our role here at New Beginnings, is making sure that we can control our finances. All right. But there are different ways we can do that, right? We've been talking about budgeting in January, and just in March, we had to do a little thing on, student debt. We looked at that a little bit. But here in April, it was passed 20 years ago by the U.S. Senate that they resolved the month of April is Financial Literacy Month. Who would have known? But we know now. So in the month of April, you would see all different types of posts about financial literacy. All right. And different ways to help your finances. But before we go into talking about our finances, I want to share with you our affirmation. And you've heard it before, but I want you to remember it. This is our affirmation for this segment. I am and I feel empowered. I am and I feel powerful. I am and I feel grounded, centered, safe, and secure. Yes, I am and I feel empowered. I am and I feel powerful. I am and I feel grounded, centered, safe, and secure. And one of the ways we feel grounded, centered, safe, and secure is through, if you like me, believing in God, He makes us grounded, centered, safe, and secure. But He also have other things out there to help us feel grounded, safe, centered, and secure. One of them is through having good financial understanding and good financial literacy. Not everybody is a financial person or accountant or know what to do with their money. We know that. And that's why God provide people like that around for us. So we could get direction as to how to save money, save for a rainy day, learn how to pay off debt. So we have different ways of understanding how we can use the funds that we get after working hard and putting aside, if we do, to be able to do things in the long run or if there's an emergency. And today we are going to talk about financial literacy. More so, we are going to talk about a 5-part series seminar that this young lady has come together with other financial personnel to share their knowledge with you on how we can be better stewards of our money. Yes. All
Yes.
right. And the person I am speaking about is Miss Kristel Brooks. Hello, Miss Kristel.
Hello, Miss Michelle. How are you today?
I am great, and I hope you're doing well as well.
Yeah, thank you for having me on your podcast today.
Yes, thank you for coming on board. I
Oh,
want you to tell us a little bit, tell the new beginning podcasters listening, who is Kristel Brooks?
well, Kristel Brooks is a single mom who was born and raised. I'm sorry, I'm a single mom of 3 boys, born and raised here in Indianapolis, Indiana, never left. And she's on a journey of trying to break generational curses, uneducated fears towards money. And as she's going along that journey, she wants to bring the community and anybody else along for the ride because as I'm learning, I'm like, I can't just find out this information and then not share it.
Yes.
It's important to me. I like helping people. So it's important to me that as I gain knowledge, share it with others who I see going through the same thing because we've all grown up not knowing about money, not knowing how to make our money work for us. And it's time that we change the course, the story. We don't have to stay on the same path. We can turn right and go a different way.
Yes, yes. Good, because we want everybody to learn about financial literacy.
Right.
And this is not just talking about blacks or just whites or
No.
just Caucasians or Asians. So we're talking about
Ev-
every human being
right.
that works for the dollar. We need to know what to do with that dollar
That's
when we
right.
get it.
I'm learning even people who I think already have it set
Yeah.
up and taken care of, they don't. And again, it's
Yeah.
because of uneducation on financial literacy. So let's change that story.
Yes.
We don't have to keep on fighting this battle of how to make ends meet when it's about sacrifice and discipline and hard work.
Yes, yes. So this month in April, you have decided, along with a group of financial literate individuals, to have a seminar series program starting in April and ending in August. Yes?
Correct.
Tell
Correct.
us a little bit about this seminar series you have embarked upon.
Well, I've been in the financial industry now for 18 years. For 17 years, I was in the mortgage industry. And then my son is graduating. So I'm like, you know what? I need to start working on my retirement portfolio. I don't know
Mm.
money. So that started me on a journey of trying to become a financial advisor, not realizing that life insurance is part of financial advising. So I
Mm.
started learning and studying to get my license for life insurance. I'm like, man, there's so much information that is out there that we don't know about. And the crazy thing is I have a degree in marketing. So the wheels
Okay.
got spinning in my head. I'm like, you know what? I want to do something that's going to get this information out to people. So as I got in, I joined a networking group called BNI, met a whole bunch of different other people from the financial sector. And as I said, brought my baby to life because this event is my baby.
Mhm.
I said, who else could I bring in? Because I didn't want to make it just about life insurance. It's not a fun topic to talk about. But,
Yes.
that's only one piece of the financial sector. There's so many other pieces, and it all ties back to life insurance, but you got to understand it to see how it ties back into life insurance. So as I really started thinking about how I wanted the event to go, I said, well, let me bring in this person and this person and this person. I'm like, man, this is going to be a real great financial series because it's not just touching on, like I said, one piece. We're going to talk about banking. And what people don't realize about banking is that it's not just about having a savings and checking account. There's different type of accounts that you can have. There's different type of products that banks offer that can enhance your finances. But if you're
Okay.
not asking that question or thinking, I can have a banker, I don't have a whole bunch of money, you're shortchanging yourself. So
Okay.
then we get into credit. Even if you have good credit, you may always be looking for ways to make sure you maintain that good credit or to increase your score even more. So why not come out and learn? When
Right.
you're buying a house, I have realtors. When you're buying a house, you need to know what that process looks like as far as putting earnest money down, paying for an appraisal, how to go about a home inspection, how to even have a home warranty. And then when building a house, there's things you need to know as far as how the property taxes work, how
Right.
much house you can afford, who's a good builder to go with. And with life insurance, that piece of it that I'm doing, I'm going from A to Z. What is the value of life insurance? How do you get approved? How does your health play into it? What are the product types that are best for you? Like life insurance is not just about death. Life insurance is
Right.
death, wealth, and asset protection. So I'm kind of trying to change the conversation from it being just about death to talk about how life insurance can be used for while you're living.
Yeah, I want us to talk a little bit more about that. I see here we had like you have three more areas. For example, family law. That's
Yeah,
also going to be in seminar.
yes.
Um, Financial planning and estate planning. What's estate planning?
Estate planning is like your wills and your trust.
Mhm.
Tend to not think of that. And what you're doing is leaving with your family a legacy of mess. Because if you don't have your affairs in order when you pass away, that causes confusion, arguments, discord, because everybody's trying to get a piece of whatever you left. And you may not have left a lot of things, but
Right.
somebody's going to
Right.
something in place in writing to where whatever you're leaving, everybody knows. If you have a life insurance policy, you should be getting a will or an estate set up so that way that money is not just going to someone and it's going to be gone in 30 days. Generational wealth is created by setting up your estate and putting that money in place to where it can grow and pass it on down to somebody else where they can let it grow. And it just keeps on going. But you won't know that if nobody's directing you to the right resources.
Yes. Yes. And I think this will be really good for everyone because at any age, you want to be able to know what a trust is. You want to know what a will
Right.
is, how to set that up, how to create that to get generational wealth.
Right.
Because I just saw like a meme the other day. Somebody said, okay, his dad was giving him the house, says he was willing, putting in his will that I'm going to give you this house when I die. And the son said, don't give me the house, put it in a trust so that I
Right.
could then get it, because then he doesn't have to pay capital gain
Right. Or go
on
through
taxes on it. Yeah.
right.
So again, I didn't even know about that. So if I didn't know, I know it had a lot of people don't know about that, because
Right.
what I've learned is you have a will.
Right. And what made me start talking about generational wealth was one to set me apart from other agents. I'm actually an associate advisor, but from other agents. But I also started seeing a lot of videos on social media talking about how they created generational wealth this way or that way. And everybody don't have a whole bunch of assets.
Right.
Everybody doesn't have a business. Everybody doesn't own a bunch of properties. But what they
Right.
tell you is life insurance is the most easiest way to start creating generational wealth. You
Good.
start
And
your family insured, and people don't even realize you can put your life insurance in a trust. And that way it just continues to pass down. And you can set up a trust account to put that money that you're leaving behind in an account that's going to accrue interest and grow. And then you just keep it going. I mean, it's too long to go into it in detail, but again, we're just giving people half of information. So when I'm
yes.
my clients, we talk about will, and I pass them on to an estate attorney that I partner with. So that
Hmm.
way start that process. It's not just
Right.
life insurance, that's it. No, go set up your estate plan now.
Yes. So, as we dive into understanding a little bit about life insurance, a lot of people say, yeah, I know what life insurance is, but there's so many different aspects of it.
Right.
What can you give are the two main types of life insurance? Or what is life insurance before we even go into types?
Right. Life insurance is a form of protection.
Okay.
And it's a plan that if anything happens to you, to where you transition earlier than what you anticipated or expected, that your family can go on living the way that they live. People don't realize, and I ask people this question: what is your greatest asset? And they'll say, oh, my house, my car, this. No, your greatest asset is yourself, because you're a
Yes.
creator. So if something was to happen to you, that income that you're creating, it's no longer there. How would you replace it? And that's where life insurance comes in, that you're replacing income, to where if you have small children and they're going to have to live with someone else, how is that person going to take care of them? You know,
Mm-hmm.
life insurance will give them the resources to take care of them down. Now, it doesn't mean that they have to get all the money up front. Again,
Right.
your estate planning can set it up, because not only is it for to replace your income, it's to pay off your debts.
Mm-hmm.
You're a homeowner. You can use life insurance to pay off your mortgage, and it's a way to leave money for your children if they want to go to college.
Okay.
But like I said, life insurance is not just about death. You can use it for things while you're living too. So,
Oh, so that
yes.
is a different aspect. I have in the recent years learned about that. Share with people how can you use life insurance while you're alive?
Okay. The way you can use life insurance while you're living is with a permanent policy. That's either with a whole life policy or an index universal life policy.
Okay, so
And
we're
one
getting into types of policies now,
those
right?
type of policies.
Okay,
And the thing about permanent policies is that they're more expensive, but they accumulate cash. That's the reason why they're more expensive. That cash
right.
accumulating, the more you accumulate, you can use it for college funding, for retirement, buying a house, starting or expanding on a business, or just to have an emergency fund, all while you're alive. And then as you use that money, you can pay yourself back and continue to let that money grow.
Okay, so you're saying to me now that if I have a life insurance that was worth $100,000 and I've been paying monthly, I'm just throwing out figures there, $70 a month on a life insurance, a whole life insurance at 100,000, paying $70 a month. And I've been paying this for 5 years. And say I had water damage to my house. I'm just using something arbitrarily. You're saying I could borrow money from the life insurance?
Correct. Because those two permanent policies, I'm gonna break it down even more. They're different, but they still have the same meaning. And meaning is that they're both permanent, meaning that they last for your whole life. But a
Okay.
whole policy is going to accumulate cash based on dividends the insurance company earns and pays into your policy. And then
Mm-hmm.
you index universal life. This is a more flexible type policy where you can invest into it, and it's tied to the S&P 500 index. And
Mm-hmm.
when it's tied to it, it doesn't mean that it's invested into the stock market. It's tied to how well the S&P 500 does. So you have a minimum rate and you have a maximum. It's going to go, your floor rate is going to be zero. And what that means is it's the S&P 500 is negative or goes down, you're not losing any money. But
Okay.
if it does well, you have three crediting strategies that you can use. One is a high participation, one is 100% participation, then you have the uncapped. Now, the high participation, you're going to be capped at earning interest at 7%.
Mm-hmm.
100% participation, you're capped at earning 10%.
Okay.
Uncapped is where, however well the S&P 500 does, you can go over that 10%. Now, when I say you can earn up to, these percentages, it's
Mm-hmm.
interest going to be credited to your money that's in your cash accumulating account where it's going to grow. So it's going to grow at a compound interest, meaning that whatever money is already into that account is
Yes.
going on growing based on what's in there versus what you originally put in.
So you're getting growth on what you're putting in as well as dividends or profits. Or can I say profits?
Yeah, well, dividends is only on whole life insurance. The end
Oh,
life is not based on any dividends. It's based upon how the S&P 500 does.
right. Okay. So if it's doing well, you get 7% if or 10% or uncapped, whatever amount
Right, depending
on
on
it.
what you want to take. So if you say,
Ah,
I believe the S&P 500 is going to do well, so I don't want to be capped at 7 or 10%. I want to get as much as I can. Then
uh-huh.
you, that's what you can choose to do, and you have the option. Even if you choose it, and you see it's not working out as good as you thought it was, you can go back and change it. So it's giving you flexibility to do this policy
Yes.
how you see fit based on your
Got
needs.
it.
And with my main carrier, Mutual Omaha, we can do a structured index universal life policy for you. So if you know you have a specific purpose of what you're wanting to do, I can structure it to work that way for you. And what I typically tell my clients is, what is your purpose for doing an index universal life? Because there's a thing on social media now talking about infinite banking.
Right.
Have to do this policy correctly in order for it to work as it's supposed to for you. So that means you have to find somebody who's going to give you the pros and cons of the policy.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm-hmm.
doing versus just going in blindly and thinking it's going to work. Like, if people want to use it for retirement, I'll let them know, hey, you got to really put some money into it for it to work that way. But if you
Right.
want to do like $100 to $200 a month, and if you do that, you're going to gain money, but it won't be as much as if you put more monthly premium into it. And you have the option of putting more money into it on top of your monthly premium.
Oh, okay, okay. So, based on the information you have just shared, and that's a whole mouthful, people. That's a lot of
It is
information right there, because I've just learned about five different things more than what I know about life insurance in just this short conversation so far. What you're saying is, in order for you to be able to have an effective life insurance policy, you need to know the background information. You need to know, is the amount of money that I'm trying to invest in the life insurance working for me
right.
based on the goals that I'm looking at attaining.
Correct.
So whether
Correct.
it's retirement or investing in a business, because I've heard also you can have a life insurance for your business if you have
Right.
a business.
Yes, there is a such thing called business life insurance, where if you
Got
have a key employee or
it.
if you're in a partnership, you
Mhm,
can policies for people like that have carry such high weight in your business success that if
mhm,
it's from you have the resources to hire somebody new or to buy out a family if you're in a partnership, and that
mhm.
family ongoing, and you have money left over as well too for resources to do whatever you want to with the business. So again, you have to have somebody who's willing to sit down with you, explain the process, listen to what your needs are, and furthermore ask you questions that's going to really make you think.
Right. So it's not a willy-nilly thing. It's really a planning event. Really,
Yeah,
it's really an
yeah,
event.
Yes,
because
I call
it's not a one day situation. It's really understanding. And I could equate it to, for example, me trying to teach somebody, okay, I have a 90-day functional nutrition for you. When I tell people I'm trying to understand who you are, I have like a 20-page document that I ask people to fill out because I'm trying to find out about who you are and what your needs would be.
right, right.
So you have to assess the whole situation. In your case, it's the same thing. You need to assess everything. Okay, how much funds you have, where your funds coming from, how long you want to have this. Is it that you really want a trust versus just a life insurance, or is it life insurance under a trust, under a business life insurance? What do you really need based on who you are and what you do?
Right. It's a real detailed conversation. And one thing I try to do with my clients is make them feel comfortable sharing. I didn't come from finances and knowing everything. So it's not a judgment zone. It's a no
Right.
zone. And I want people to feel comfortable to tell me, hey, this is what's going on. Here's what my pain points are. Here's what I'm needing for my family. And then I take everything they tell me and I go make a customized plan for them.
Right, right. And that's the other part. When you're doing something for somebody like that, whether it's an individual versus a family, it is an individualized plan.
Correct.
My plan
Correct.
is different than your plan.
That's right. That's right.
So it takes information. And you may have to have more than one or two visits with this individual to really understand what they're looking for and
Right.
which is good for them, what would be a good fit for them.
Right. And the thing that makes
Yes.
it hard is people will come to you and not even know what to ask.
Mhm.
So, I feel like I'm more of an educator because that's my job, to educate, to guide.
Yes.
If you don't know, that's where I come in and answer all those questions of what you don't know. And it's not bad if you don't know. We
Right.
all learn. Learning is a everyday thing. Just because we're grown
Yes.
and older, that don't mean we've learned everything.
And this is why I am interviewing you now, because guess what? You are teaching me new things. And anybody listening, if you did not know, now you have an idea of, oh, so that's what life insurance is about. I need to get with somebody to deal with this for me. Because
Right.
it's not just about going and buy a life insurance, because then we only talked about index and whole life. There's a whole term life insurance,
Right.
and that's a different type of life insurance.
It is. I call that an asset protection plan. Be-
Got it.
what people don't realize is you can have more than one life insurance policy.
Right.
And term policy can be used to cover bills. Like
Hmm.
I talk about mortgage protection policy. That's where whether you're a new homeowner or an existing homeowner, you can take out a term policy based on how many years you still owe on your mortgage.
Okay.
That way, if something happens to you,
Mm-hmm.
you can do three things. You can use it to pay off the house if you unexpectedly pass away. You
Mm-hmm.
build up the policy to include disability income in case you get sick or injured and unable to work. Or you can add, instead of saying or, critical illness. And what critical illness is, if you're ever diagnosed with have a stroke, heart attack, or diagnosed with cancer, and there's
Mm-hmm.
a other elements it'll cover, you can get up to $100,000 of tax-free money to where you can focus on recovering versus
Oh,
how you.
wow.
So there's so many different things that
Yes.
are out there for us, and every carrier doesn't carry all of it. So if
Right.
you're carrying it, you may not know. So that's why I talk so much about it, because everybody may not know. You can
You,
have an
I
agent,
didn't know. You're
right?
talking about so many different things that I have no idea. I,
Yeah,
I, I never connected dots like that. That is
no,
great information.
yes. Like I found out about critical illness and disability income insurance. I'm like, why ain't nobody talking about this? Like this would be so goodness. Think about small business owners who don't have any benefits. Those two policies will be perfect for them. I call those policies income protection, because what if
Yes.
you're sick or injured and unable to work, you still have some form of income coming in. Even if you have a 401k or a savings, it's saving
Right.
you from use that. Because the thing we have to think about is that if I'm off work and I'm using my savings to take care of my home, and then let's say I'm a homeowner and something goes wrong with my home or my car breaks down, where
Right.
else get that money from? So there's stress in knowing that I'm off work doing sick or injured. I wasn't prepared for this moment because we don't think
Right.
of expected life events happening.
Right.
It's a way to prepare. Like we go through unexpected life events all the time, whether it be a car breaking down, something going wrong with our house, and we always like, man, I don't have enough money for that. It's the same with life.
Mm-hmm.
Unexpected,
You're
we don't
right.
gonna get sick or injured, so we have to be prepared in case of those happening. It's called being prepared, proactive, and proficient.
Yes. Yes. I like that. Prepared, proactive, and proficient. The three P's.
Yes, yes.
Oh wow. I am happy that we're having this conversation because um sometimes we live life vicariously and
Mm.
we're not sure. We want, so for example, spring break for some people, and you want to be able to go out and have a vacation, but you never know what could happen during the spring
Oh
break
no,
or
we
driving,
right, right. We
these
think
things happen
right. We tend to think nothing in life is going to happen, and we see it happen every
every
day.
day. Yes.
Happen every day, whether it be somebody we know or somebody we don't know. We still have this thing in our mind of saying, it can't happen to me. Guess what? It can.
It can. Yeah.
And the best way to handle it is by being prepared.
Yes, yes. So we today have been talking about life insurance, and we've been zoning in on life insurance. But I want you to understand this month, from now till August, Kristel has, with a team of personnel in the financial frontier, I will say that, I like that, financial frontier. They're having this seminar for from April to August, and the areas we touched on it before, things like banking, credit repair, mortgage lending, home buying, home building, life insurance, family law, financial planning, and estate planning. These are the things that they are going to expand upon. And
Yes.
guess what? This is a free seminar,
Yes. I'm just
people.
going to say that it's
A
free.
free seminar. And how
Yes.
can people get onto the seminar, Crystal?
They can register on Eventbrite. Right now, the only registration is open is for the first seminar, April 22nd. I'm
Okay.
not Eventbrite savvy, so I'm trying to get the other event dates open so where they can start registering. And I want to put titles for each event so people can see what we will talk about each
Yes.
session. Because even if one session doesn't work for you, there may be another session that works for you. So I want to make sure that I'm tapping in to everything. There's one thing I want to kind of comment on:
Yes.
family. People can say, why is family law part of financing?
Mm,
You get divorced, what happens to your finances? Your finances
right.
change. Sometimes you
Yes.
may have a parent household where one parent may take care of all the finances and the other parent may not. Well, they have to now learn how to make their finances work for them. So family law, divorce, you know, even if you're not married and you split up and you have to go through getting a custody agreement, you got to know how to make your finances work for you.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So these are really important key factors in understanding financial literacy, people. And um, you may not have that type of background. You might say, I'm a science person. What are you talking about? Yeah, you're a science person that still need to buy a house, or
Right.
a science person
Or
who still
create
have to
a
save money for
state.
retirement. So we all have to learn some information. And when you have seminars like this, it's to tap in and get the basics. We're not trying to, I know she's not trying to make you the what do you call it, the connoisseur of finances, and you know everything to a T and you can go get it yourself. This is more of an opportunity to learn about. So just as we have done in this podcast here, is learn about a little bit about life insurance.
Right.
And we are sharing that this seminar is coming up in April, and it's April 22nd. It starts
Yes,
April
April
22nd.
22nd from 12 to 2 at Evans Event Center.
Yes, Evans Event Center, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And it's April 22nd. This is the first seminar that we have that Kristel is hosting. And these are different events each month till
Yes. uh,
August.
yes. Each month we're going to have a different topic. I'll still be talking about life insurance from the
Mhm.
first session to the last because there's so many pieces to life insurance.
Yes.
I have to break it down. And two, I didn't want to just do a one day, all day event because there's so many different sectors in finance that I didn't want to blow people's head up with so much information where they're like, I don't even know what to remember. So,
Or where to start, or where to
right,
begin.
right. I had to break it down because I want them to take away from this event, one, knowing about the resources and having connections to them and
Mhm.
seeing that it's possible. Because we go off of so much of what somebody else said and what somebody else did, and everybody's situation is not the same. So you can't take word of what somebody else went through and think it applies to you because it doesn't.
Right, right, right. So we want you to understand that this is an opportunity for everyone, every individual, married, single, divorced, whoever you are, male, female. We want you to know that this is an event for everyone to take
Even if
part in.
even if you've had your financial plan already set, if you
Right.
haven't that financial plan in 3 years, come out and get more information because as the world and economy and our lives change, so
Mm.
are the finances. So what you may have known 3 years to 5 years
Mhm.
ago may not be the same right now.
Right, right. So I want to thank you for this opportunity for sharing with us here at New Beginnings podcast, sharing that hey, life insurance is for everybody. There are many different types of life insurance, and if you want to learn more about life insurance and financial literacy like banking, family law, all these different aspects, credit repair, go to the event that is hosted by Kristel Brooks starting on April 22nd. It's between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. at the, tell me the center again, the Creative
And
Center, Evan Event Center. And head on there, listening. It's just 2 hours. And you could get so much information in that 2 hour span. And guess what? It's not only in April. This is going straight through till August. And we would touch base again with Kristel. We might even ask her to bring another guest to share more information with us on this podcast feed so that we could all learn how to get our finances in order. Because I know if you don't have people in Indy, I know I have people from all over the US, even the Caribbean, listening to this podcast. So I want you to know that if we have other guests that could come on by, bring them on here and we would share with everybody, let everybody understand that, hey, this is for you too. Let's do this together. Let's get grounded, centered, safe, and secure. Right? You want to be like that, no matter your age.
right,
Yes?
right. No matter the age, there's no time limit on learning. And as
That's
the theme for this first session is you have to start a restart somewhere.
mm-hmm. New beginnings.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So I want you all to really take account of your finances. And this is, I keep bringing it in. So a lot of people will be like, Michelle, you always talking about finances. I thought you're a health person. Guess what? I actually have a business major. I am a human resource. That was one of my areas, human resource management. I'm a business major. So I like to talk about finances because
Right.
it's something that we need to take account of our monies. The little bit we have, even if you have a little bit, it could go a long way because every time you think about the right way to put your money to grow for you, it's always best in the long run. A
Right.
penny a day you could save a penny a day and you could make a lot of money 10 years down the road, just not touching. Just keep it, that piggy bank. It fills up.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
So go ahead.
I want to say too, when people talk about self-care, health and wellness, they
Yes.
don't tie finance into it, not understanding when your finances are out of whack. That's where majority of your stress comes,
Yes.
physically, because you're like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make it?
Mhm.
So, let's get your mental and physical health together. Let's take that stress off of you by coming to this seminar and learning ways that you can make your money work for you.
Yes, and that's why I talk about in your well-being, enhancing your well-being. One of the pillars we look at is through security, and security in believing in God, as well as securing your finances for the future. Not only your future, but your children and your children, children,
That
and
general,
go on. So legacy.
yeah. Yes,
Yes.
love
Thank you
it.
so much, Kristel. And we look forward to speaking with you again
Yes, I can't
soon.
wait. Thank you for having me and just allow me to talk about what I'm passionate about. I hope people can see the
Yes.
passion that I have for what I do.
Yes, I sure do. And I love it because that's how we get it to other people. By
That's right.
whatever we're passionate about, it comes out. It exuberates through our blood and our pores. So we want everybody to understand that this is not just we're talking about this just to make money. It's not a money making thing. It's I want to help you. I love helping people, and I know Kristel loves helping people too. And if
Love,
we do it, yeah, we do it through whatever gifts we have. In our case, I love to do it through health. In Kristel's case, she's doing it through finances and teaching us how to be safe, grounded, and secure. Yeah.
yes. Yes.
So thank you again so much. This has been New Beginnings podcast, and we love you guys listening in. If you have any questions at all, feel free to send those questions in, and we would be back with Kristel not too long from now, listen in and see what answers you get for the questions that you have shared with us. Yes?
Yes, I can't wait.
Yes. So thank you again for listening in today. And I'll hear from you guys soon. And I will talk to you soon. This has been New Beginnings podcast with Michelle. And today with Kristel. Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day.